everybody, Damo here from the Charter Collection Fishing Charters and the Charter Vessel Diversity, bringing you another top catch bait and tackle fishing report. It's early October, it's spring as you can see. One day it's beautiful and sunny and the next it's raining and windy. Diversity normally lives down the berth there, she's out today. The rest of the fleet seems to be pretty much tied up. It's blowing about 30 knots. And as you can probably see behind me here, it's pretty gloomy and there's squally rain showers coming through. So another beautiful spring day in New Zealand. What's been happening? There's been some very cool stuff coming out this spring, and we're a little bit lucky in New Zealand that we have a pretty high spend per capita, probably second to Japan or possibly even the States. So worldwide we have a pretty big spend per capita when it comes to fishing tackle. So it means that we can get a lot of tackle come into the country, and there's always people willing to buy it. We are basically tackle whores, and this is a great thing. I've spoken about the jitterbugs, I've spoken about the Lucanus and the bottom ship jigs, and I've spoken about the Hauraki Gulf. What I'm going to talk about this week is the new Trigger X baits from Shimano New Zealand. Now these are very, very cool little soft baits. They, where to start? There's a whole range of different colours. I will quickly flash a few colours up so you can see just what awesome colours they are and what sizes they are too. They come in a 4.5 paddle tail, if you like, or a 4.5, what do they call it? They call it a paddle tail minnow. They also come in the 4-inch minnow, which just has a split tail. Quite large surface area on these lures, and you'll also see that they come packed with ultra bite. Now ultra bite is a fish pheromone which has been specifically designed for saltwater fish, and very popular in other parts of the country, and also soon to be very popular right here in New Zealand. Now this pheromone triggers the bite, hence the name Trigger X, and whether you think it's bullshit or not, the great thing about it is that it comes packed with this stuff. So personally I'm a fan of scented baits. When things are slow and the movement of the bait and the colour of the bait won't do it, then it's great to be able to reach for something that is scented. You'll also notice, I don't know if you can have a quick look at that, but they come packed in a plastic liner inside your packet. This helps keep the pheromone on the product a lot longer than it's sitting in the bottom of the packet. So what I would suggest to you is when you're picking these up at the tackle store and you're tearing your packet open, they are a Ziploc packet, so make sure you zip them back up and keep the inner container going so that you can replace your baits back in it. Wash a bit of pheromone back over them and keep them nice and fresh and ready to trigger that hot bite. So get into those. Going to be a cool little product. I'm yet to play with them yet, so I'm going to report back on those. We do have them out on the boat today, but I haven't actually given the wheel myself. I'm looking forward to it. I especially like some of the colours. Now, a couple of the colours here that really tickle my fancy. I'm a real contrast man, and I might have spoken about this before. It's not necessarily the shape, it's not necessarily the movement, but I'm a big believer in contrast. I also don't read too much into the theory that red and pink and green and chrome and all those different colours make any difference to a fish. Who knows what a fish can, you know, we can't actually ask a fish, you know, what do you think of red, what do you think of green, you know, and they can't reply, you know. If they could, I wouldn't be sitting here right now even philosophizing about this sort of stuff. I'm a believer in contrast. Now, when it comes to contrast, I really think that black and white are great colours. And this, for me at the moment, with that white belly and that dark top, has sort of got that anchovy, pilchardy look about it, and I think that colour there is going to be a winner inshore. Other contrast colours, you can see very specific contrast here. The green and the white, and the other great one, of course, which has been around a long, long time, is like a nuclear chicken style colour, although this particular colour they call it, I can't tell you what colour they call that, but anyway, it's pink and green, isn't it? So pink is a go-to colour for me, and green is also a go-to colour for me too, so there you go. Other cool things, lots of sparkles. Sparkles wins. Fishermen love sparkles, they love buying sparkles. Fish must love sparkles too, because we keep putting on all our stuff. Again, it's contrast, so into that. I would match that up with a real nice, maybe a Stratic, and maybe a bit of 10-pound braid and stick it on one of those very, very nice Shimano soft bait rods. There's plenty to choose from. Check them out, shimano.co.nz. The other place you could check that stuff out is, man, the sun's come out. Is this still New Zealand? The other place you could check out at the moment is www.topcatch.co.nz and see what they've got going on there. They've just finished a massive sale, so you probably want to check that out. What you've been waiting for though is, where are these fish and what are they doing? Because of the full moon, the workup action seems to have slowed down. This is pretty typical. And now we're on the back of the full moon. The workup action should increase again all the way through to the new moon, where it'll probably slow down a wee bit again, and then it'll increase and then decrease again as we go through to the full moon again. So that's sort of the cycle. What's been happening though is that because of the moon, the fish have been coming on the bite. Well, the workups have been starting more in the afternoon. So over at Motuora and south of Carwell there, where we've been hanging out for the last 2 or 3 weeks and just getting polders of fish out of it, and really nice stuff too. When it's hot, man, it's so hot you'll burn yourself on it. When it's cold, it's freezing cold, and you just will not buy a bite. You know, I've heard so many people this week saying, I just cannot buy a fish over there at the moment. I'm saying, stick around, stick around. And when they stick around, like it was 6 o'clock the other night before we even got onto them, we caught nothing all day, say 12 fish all day, and then bang, the boat backs in with 90 fish. That's how it works. The other thing with these workups is, don't be a douche nozzle and drive straight into them. A, you'll spoil it for yourself, and B, you'll spoil it for everybody else, and C, you'll probably get an 8-ounce ball sinker out of the slingshot. So don't be a dork and drive into the workup. Stay on the outside of it like every other sensible angler, and we'll all catch fish. I'm not going to name any names, but you know who you are, and you know, just don't go ruining it. You're a douche. End of rant. Calm. Now, the place that's been hot lately, we've been fishing the Tirri Channel. It's been howling its ring out, and we've been hiding in there. Not hiding so much, but the boat's more than capable of going into some deeper water and fishing right out in the open, but it's not necessarily the boat that we have to think about, it's the punters. And some of our anglers are new to the sport, and we're not in the business of taking people out, roll bowling and rocking them around and making them sick. It's not how it works. What we have been doing is fishing in the calm water in the Tirri Channel, using the tide and using the structure in the channel, and pulling about 70 fish a day out of there. One of my clients this morning, Norman Tan, flicked me off his iPhone, which very handy thing. Smartphone, smart lad, flipped me through a picture of a kingfish he caught on a soft bait in the Tirri Channel off the back of Diversity. I'll flick it up at the end of this. And so he's a happy little camper. There's also been a lot of fish caught in there this week. I think there was about 70 yesterday, and the trip before that I think they got about 90 just on the northern end of the channel. Have a look where the contour line dips into the channel, and in there's a little bit of broken ground. It's real low. You won't see much on the sounder, but you'll probably find when you pull your anchor up there could be little pieces of short spongy type corals and stuff like that. Snapper love grazing that stuff. It's so easy. The little crabs and stuff, they just sift around through it, and you're away. In there also though is the disused cable. Now the cable, we have personally cut the cable probably, oh God, I can't count how many times I've cut it, probably 15-20 times now. It is quite a thick cable. It's about yay. If you do hook it up on your anchor, tie a rope around it and pull the rope up to the boat, and release your anchor from the cable, and then just cut the rope or release the rope and drop it back down to the bottom. The other thing you can do in a bigger boat, if your anchor is very heavy and the cable's very tight, is maybe put the boat in reverse and just reverse along the cable. You should pop off on one of the cuts. There's numerous cuts, and like I say, we've been responsible for some of that. Mostly for safety reasons, because it's an easy way to get the cable off, especially on a heavy anchor without hurting anybody. It's disused. It's not going to set you on fire. It's not going to put your name in lights and send you to your grave. But just be very careful you hook it up. That's on that 27 metre sort of area at the top end of the channel there, the 30 metre contour line. Top of the Firth, in between Ponui and Cow and Calf, has been pretty good. And I even heard that riding close along the East Coast bays has also been okay as well. Something I've noticed lately, in here in the marina, starting to pick up a lot more fish in the evenings when we're washing down. We had snapper to about 10 pound, hand fed a few of those. My pets are back, and also just the other night kingfish back in the marina. So fishing close. To back that up, a couple of the boys from Fishing News were out around the end of Wongaproa there, which has been a bit of a hot spot lately. out around there fishing right in 2 and 3 metres of water, quite gnarly stuff they said, and they pulled some reasonable fish out of there on an otherwise quiet day when the workups weren't happening. So that's about it from me. Get into your Trigger X's. Take advantage of this lovely spring weather. Look for those windows of opportunity. Saturday looks a bit breezy. Sunday looks a bit better. Go to our Facebook page and check us out, Diversity Fishing. You can win a couple of bottles of Pure Air Tacklet, which is the cleaner and sanitizer that we use on the boat. It's also a smell deodorizer. Fantastic product. Absolutely love it. Raving about it. I'm giving a couple of bottles away. Get in there. Check out topcatch.co.nz. Check out shimano.co.nz. And check us out at charterconnection.co.nz. Time for a 6-shot Americano with a dash of cream in the top, 2 sweeteners. I'm out of here.